Good morning. This is the Daily Jam podcast. I believe it's episode 8. Today is the 6th of October, 2024. It's about, 11:30 in the morning, 11:29 a.m. So I have to keep this kind of brief. I got crazy hair. I feel like that was pretty obvious. I got to keep this brief. 20 minutes maximum. I'm keeping an eye on the little timer here because I've got to go play a gig. And I'm already going to be late, but I've just made this commitment to myself to film these a little bit each day. And there's such unpredictability when I go to a gig because there's all these people, different energies that I'm interacting with. So by the time I get home, well, it's something I'm working on within myself that so that I don't let other people's energies affect who I am, and I can just be in whatever room I need to be in, firm within myself and not feeling like I'm adapting to the room so much. So that's something I'm working on within myself. Maybe you're like me or maybe not, but that's like a real thing that I'm working through in my inner world, is that ability so that no matter what room I enter, I stay true to myself, true to my inner center, my inner core, and not so adaptive to other people. Anyway, so that's why I want to film this now, because by the time I get back, I could be a whole different person. And that actually may be a good thing as well. But I wanted to film this now because I just like the morning time, even though it's 11:30. It's a bit later in the morning, but just life been happening. But I like the morning time because I feel fresh, I feel clear, and the world hasn't beat me down. The world hasn't beat me down. I feel connected to the universe, to consciousness, whatever you want to call it. I feel clear-minded. Let's just say that. I feel clear-minded and fresh, like a newborn being of the cosmos, cosmological, cosmopolitan. So that's what, see the gold that you get from the morning self? Cosmopolitan. I don't even know what that is. So, episode number 8. So I've been thinking a lot about practicing drums and practice. Practicing drums and practice. And what I've noticed a lot, well, it's multi-dimensional. I could talk about many facets about practice. One main thing is that it is work. It helps if you have a passion, because that gives you enthusiasm to carry out what you have to carry out. But passion alone won't drive you forward. It won't give you what you need. Passion alone won't take you there. You need discipline. You need a strategy. You need even just a little bit of a plan of how you're going to go about doing things so you can set up daily habits to pursue this thing, to develop this thing. Even if that is just 5 minutes, but you commit to it every single day, you tick the box, just like what I'm doing with the podcast, 20 minutes every little day, 5 minutes. You could start even just with 1 minute every day. You go to the drum kit and you just sit there. Even if you just sit there, even if you just pick up the sticks and just kind of feel them, connect with them for 60 seconds, and then do it again the next day. I guarantee gradually what will happen is by day 3, you'll start tapping. By day 4, you'll tap a little bit more. By day 5, you'll be tapping, and so on. But the point is just to show up each day. It's not so much about how long you show up for. Just show up each day, tick it off, get a streak going, build the habit. That is the key. It's something about, I don't know, the brain and the adaptation a little bit each day, as opposed to doing 8 hours one day and then you don't practice for a month. You're not building that into your, I don't know, whatever it is, your neural pathways, whatever is going on. A scientist could tell me, they're still figuring it out. But I'm just telling you, it won't work. And it can feel like I don't have the time to practice, but 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 1 minute. 1 minute every day. And I know what it's like. I know what it's like. I know what it's like when you just want to quit. You just want to quit. You think, what a stupid little childish activity. Why would I spend my time doing such things? And, well, I know all about that. And what I've found is when I just manage to get myself to just sit there, even though my mind doesn't want to sit there, if you could just get yourself to sit there and just play a little bit, you will feel so much better. And you'll realize the issue is actually the resistance between you and doing the thing. The issue is never the thing itself. It just is what it is. The issue is you, how you are relating to your resistance to doing the thing. And it's sad because we let that resistance push us away from the thing that we love. But if you see that as that is the whole game, that is the whole challenge, is this resistance. So then, because it's going to come up again and again, even when you get in a good streak with practice, guess what? Next week, it's back. The resistance is back. Every day, it's an ongoing war. It's a war. So you have to show up every day and just sit at the instrument and just play a little bit. And I guarantee you'll feel so much better. All that resistance will disappear. And you'll be like, oh, it was actually really simple. I just had to sit down and play. So I just want to say that. And it is like work. After a certain point, if you really want to take this seriously, it is like work. You have to show up even when you don't want to. It's like a job. It's like work. Sorry, it is. That's just what it is. If you want to take it seriously, it's like work. You have to come up with a plan. I'm going to practice 5 minutes every day. So then, okay, let's say you've been doing that. You've followed my advice, and this is my advice, but this is like public knowledge out there. I didn't just come up with this. This is just what I've learned and what I've applied and what I've realized works. And I'm sharing it with you. And if it works for you, that's cool. And if not, that's cool too. I'm open to humans being different. How do I know what every human needs? All I can share is what actually works for me. And if that resonates with you, that's great. And if it doesn't, that's okay. Because this is just the truth for me. That's all I can really talk about. So treat it like a job. Okay, yes. And say you're doing it so say you take my advice, you do it every single day. What you'll probably realize is you'll get 2 weeks in and you've got to think a bit more about what you're practicing and why. You then have to start thinking about what on earth you are practicing. You'll start feeling a bit stuck and a bit stale in your practice. This is more so when, for example, say if you're just sitting down to play the drums every day, play along with music, whatever you do, just purely for the love. So you're not coming in with any plan. You're just sitting down the same way a kid sits down with blocks of Lego and just starts building stuff, which I think is very important to have that approach to music and to life, to cultivate that inner child, because that's like the playfulness, even though we live in this world of like, you got to be an adult and blah, blah, blah. I mean, being able to cultivate it in a way so that your inner child can play. That's very important, because otherwise you won't sit down and do this thing. Like, that is what makes life fun, is when you make things fun, you actually excel in those things, even if it's like a complex problem. Even if it's like solving software code or whatever your advanced job is, you make it fun. That's what I've realized anyway. Okay, I'm digressing, but say you're sitting down every day at the drums and you're doing it just for the fun. Well, I guarantee 5 days in, maybe 10 days, within that range, you will start feeling a bit like, I feel like I'm playing the same thing every single day. I'm not getting as much fun out of this anymore. So then comes a new dilemma. And this is when, well, for myself, what I realized is this is when you start coming up with a plan. You start strategizing. Well, what do I want to practice? What should I practice? What do I want to practice? What do I need to practice? And why? And that opens up a whole new can of drumsticks. But that opens up a whole new problem, because now you have to strategize. Now you have to think before you sit at the drums, what on earth am I going to do and why? Why do I want to work on it? And you somewhat want to cultivate both. You want to cultivate the ability to just sit at the drums and have fun, but you also want to cultivate the ability of, okay, what am I doing here? Am I just wasting time? Let's figure something out. What do I need to work on? And I'd suggest start with your weaknesses. Start with the things you can't do, or start with the things that are holding your playing back. And I guarantee if you sat down and thought about it, it would just like slap you in the face. You'd be like, oh yeah, I know exactly what I need to work on. It's my left hand, or it's my bass drum foot, blah, blah, blah. It's tuning a drum kit. I could easily find so many things that you are ignoring, that you're kind of like sweeping under the bed. You're just kind of sweeping it under bed. No, I'm a heaps good drummer. I'll get there one day. I am very good at spotting those things for you, because I spend all my time spotting them in myself. And it's hard. It's hard getting yourself to do things you don't want to do. But the funny thing is, once you make a plan and you go, okay, I have to work on this thing, because if I just develop that, it would open up all these doorways of my playing. And once you start doing that, it's the same thing. You have to overcome the resistance. Once you get past the resistance and you start doing it, you'll realize, I should have done this 10 years ago. Even now, I'm going through all the things that I've been putting off in my own practice. You will feel like, I should have started this 10 years ago. Why did I put it off? I should have been doing it the whole time. Now I feel so much better in my playing. What have I been doing? So, yeah. I just suddenly, like, I was like an engine going, and then it's like the engine just died all of a sudden. I feel like I just like ranted almost, rapid fire, but that's really the trick. And so once you start strategizing your weaknesses and what you need to develop in your playing, and then from there, strategizing, okay, how do I want to break that down? What activities will I do, or exercises will I do that will take me from A to B? Okay, my left hand can't do ghost notes that well. Okay, what activities can I do that hone in on the left hand doing ghost notes? And so that if I sat there and did that for like 10 minutes every single day with a metronome, I would then reach my destination. Metronome or not, use both. Use a metronome, also spend time without a metronome. The point being, what activity will you do to take you from A to B? And hey, I can help you with that. If you want lessons, if you want some guidance, you can hit me up. But I'm just saying, my ultimate goal, and I kind of shoot myself in the foot as a businessman, because I don't want to be a businessman. I want to train you to teach yourself. I want to give you the tools so you can do what I do. I have to analyze myself. Now, granted, I would love to have a drum teacher, some kind of coach or guide, and I'm open to it, but I'm getting coached in other areas of life. And for me, drumming is not the priority of where I need coaching, but it's something I don't just want to dismiss like I'm too good for that. I actually want a coach for myself, but life circumstances, we have to put other things first, like finances, health, relationships, etc., social abilities, all these kinds of things. So that's the other thing too. You'll realize like the drumming is like, It's like this small part of the whole equation. We put so much focus on the instrument practice, but it's like it's not even what it's all about. It's not even what it's all about. But it also is. It comes back to your ability, but it also has nothing to do with your ability. It's very peculiar. It's paradoxical, which is cool. If it's a paradox, it's probably more real and true because life is a kind of paradox. We're living in a paradox. So I feel like if something is paradoxical, it's probably on point in some way. I don't know. I just pulled that out of the air. But I feel like that's like a theme or like pattern that I've noticed. It's a pattern I've noticed with life and reality. The paradoxical nature of the universe, of life, of consciousness, of experience. But I digress. So show up every single day, sit down at your instrument and just play. And then within a week or two, you will notice, I'm getting bored. What do I need to develop? And that's when you need to sit down and ask yourself, what are my weaknesses? What are the things in my playing that are holding me back? Or what are the lack of things in my playing that are holding me back? And if you don't know what they are, just go listen to some podcasts about drumming, watch some interviews about drummers that you admire, get some ideas, get some inspiration, watch some videos of your favorite drummers, listen to your favorite albums, film yourself. And film yourself drumming. So then you get instant feedback. I challenge you to film yourself drumming and upload it to social media and do that every day. So when you sit down to practice, at the very end of your practice session, you hit record, just 15, 30 seconds, just not like 5 minutes, 15, 30 seconds, a minute max, and just record the tail end of your practice session and just upload it and just get used to not being a perfectionist and just putting yourself out there and just going, yep, tick, okay, next day, and just keep doing that because that will force you to confront exactly where you are in your playing, not where you think you are, because what happens is we tend to think we're better than we actually are. We tend to think we're better than we actually are, and we tend to think we're worse than we actually are. So if you just film yourself and share it with the world, then you can actually get an objective sense of where you stand, where your playing actually stands outside of your inner voice and your inner perception and your self-image. You get to see where you are in your playing. And what's interesting is you will notice it's based in mood. So you will watch yourself play. If you're in a bad mood and you're in a mood of self-hatred, you will watch those videos of yourself playing and you will hate your life and you will hate yourself and you will feel like, I don't want to play ever again, blah, blah, blah. But if you're in a good mood and you're feeling good about yourself and life and you watch those videos of you playing, suddenly you're just like, oh, he's pretty good. He's got potential, maybe still needs to work on this thing, still needs to work on this, but like overall, he's doing good. He should keep going. Don't throw that away. Keep going, keep going. So isn't it interesting how your mood dictates your self-image to a large degree? Boom, we are hitting some nails on the head today, aren't we? We're just like smashing them into the core center of the universe. So practice each day. Okay, so if you're watching this, here's my challenge because it's nearly 20 minutes. Here's my challenge to you. Sit at the drum kit 60 seconds every single day. 60 seconds every single day. And then gradually, I want you to start thinking before you sit at the drums, think about what you want to practice and why. What you want to practice and why. What technique or ability, what weakness are you addressing and how are you going about addressing it? And will that actually work? Will that bring the results that you desire? If not, what can you change? Go back. What am I working on? Blah, blah, blah. I challenge you to do this and then film a little bit of it. Film the tail end of your practice session, 15 to 30 seconds, 1 minute max, and upload it. And then tag me in it, or let's make a hashtag, I don't know, Jamal's Daily Improv or Daily Improv. I don't know. We'll come up with a hashtag. Leave me a comment if you actually watch this and make a suggestion for a hashtag, and let's create a hashtag. and let's see if we can support each other with this thing. I'll think of a name for a hashtag now. I'll be thinking of a name. Anyway, I've got to go play a gig right now. I'm already running late. I just really wanted to get that out into the universe. So start practicing, sit at the drums. Don't let resistance beat you down. You've got to beat resistance down every single day. It's a never-ending war. It's like this until death, basically. I'm just letting you know this is what it is. And we can do this together. We've got each other. Hashtag yourself, upload it. I want to see you upload your clips. Let's get a hashtag going. Please make suggestions in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe. Maybe Jamal's Daily Improv or Jamal's Daily Practice or Jamal's Daily Practice. I don't like using my name, but I'll use my name because it's my channel. So like that unifies it with what I'm doing instead of someone else's hashtag. Jamal's Daily Practice. Let's make it that hashtag Jamal's Daily Practice. Okay. Even though I don't like putting my name on it, but just to get us started, give me a suggestion as well if there's a better hashtag. But anyway, I hope that helped you. Happy practicing, and I will speak to you in the next video. Thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, leave me a comment, give me some feedback. Hit me up if you want a lesson or some coaching. I send you peace and love. I'll talk to you soon.